Kitab kolenjin atochin mising en tetutiet nebo Kass Mashinani neitun kong'eten ketesiet nebo Kass TV. Kainenyu ko Victor Korir ako kitaunen logoiwekab emet ketindoi report netinyegei ak kakimitet kobun serikali nemwoe kole testai kosuldoen boisionik chebo bandab tai ama en kalotunet age tugul en komosta age tugul nebo emet. Kong'ololi en Machakos komwa Deputy Chief of Staff netelelchin performance delivery Eliud Owalo kole wendi kosuldoen serikali tetutikab bandab tai ama en kalotunet nekitokyin chi age tugul en emet.
Our development programs are well on track. We recently undertook a mid-term review of the implementation status of all national government development programs and projects, and I can assure Kenyans that we are on track. We have taken note of the milestones that we have realized in terms of the status of implementation of those projects, and moving forward we are also zeroing in on the specific projects and programs that we need to zero in on by way of prioritization for the remainder of the current term of the fifth administration. We have been inspecting these projects all over the country. We have been to Mombasa, we have been to Lamu, we were in Murang'a last week, today we are here in Machakos, next week we are heading elsewhere. The spread across the length and breadth, width of the country just goes also to espouse the fact that the current government is ensuring equity and equitability in the distribution of government development projects and programs. You are aware that before we had got complaints that some parts of the country were being excluded in terms of implementation of development programs. Today, all parts of the country, under the leadership of the president, are going to get benefit from government, national government projects indiscriminately, irrespective of politics. So this government is committed to ensuring that government projects are delivered to all parts of the country in conformity to the principle of equity and equitability. We have visited the affordable housing project within Machakos town. This is a project that entails 220 houses, starting with studios, 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, up to 3 bedroom houses. That project is complete. It's going to facilitate affordability of housing to the residents of Machakos town and its environs. But on the flip side of it, we have got a critical mass, about 400 youth who have gained from that affordable housing program by way of jobs and also market for products such as windows and doors and several other supplies.
Kitab kolenjin kokaibata report notok kobun Eliud Owalo. Ketokchinigei kebeberta age kora nebo tetutiet nitok kobo Kass Mashinani. Kito neitondet en studio nenyonet rani inendet ko architect. Inendet ko chito ne choroni teksosiek. Chito ne architect ningisomanji architecture. Kochoroni teksosiek asikoker kole kaimuch koityi magutik tugul chebo tekset ak kekirinda nyasutik alak tugul cheimuch kobit yakiboisien anan yekakitekso en oret nemaititaat. Kimiten studio ak architect Bernard Segecha. Itagan mising Bernard en studio nebo Kass TV.
Thank you very much. Amoy kongoi kabisa an invitation nego extended as an organization.
Yes.
Asige mwa tugul raini betutab raini discussions zebo tesetab tai in tekset en biik chenyolu chemiten construction industry ak tugul che giyoe ng'atutik chemagat kisib ak ole tot kinamda chi age tugul nemoe koyai investment or construction.
Yes.
Yes.
So iwendi arorwe choto tugul. Imiten ireu koi the Honorable Assistant Secretary nebo Architectural Association of Kenya. Ako makitesta akot ko kumawonji kole koyai walutik en kandoinatet nebo your organization in betutab amut.
Yes.
And how are the changes? Ako tos what necessitated keyai changes? Is something ne periodical ana kobit ne?
Ngalalen briefly about what the change in the leadership.
Yes.
it is in the constitution of the organization that every two years there is a change of regime, whereby the office bearers meeten Geranani for 2 years, and then Kubwani be within the organization, so that they spearhead the running of the organization. In of course, definitely ki assistant secretariat nenyonet ko en betut abamute ko gitindai AGM ak announcement of the new leadership and ko event nago colorful and ko en leadership nago gitindai the past regime which was being led by architect Florence Nyole. She's a very wonderful lady who's led the organization for the last 2 years, and we've really seen a lot of in her regime. She actually spearheaded a lot of reforms, a lot of some of the key things that drive the organization as an umbrella body of the architects, engineers, planners, quantity surveyors, interior designers, landscape architects. So in that her regime, and now we have a new regime, which I'm in the council, is a general governing council, and as assistant honorary secretary. That is my current position for the next 2 years until 2027.
Now, these leadership changes, ko kibire kura anagiliona.
Kibire kura ku in any provisions in constitutions, jebo professional bodies and any other. Wherever there is a change of regime, there has to be democratic. There has to be, and that democracy for it's given to members making decisions.
So all registered members AAK are eligible to elect the new leaders.
Exactly.
And I asked that because I wanted to know, why is it important to a member about the body, and what are the qualifications so you're admitted in a member, and what are the benefits?
Okay. The organization, Architectural Association of Kenya, it is an umbrella body from student level. There is a student chapter, and then there is a graduate. Once you graduate and a student, you go to the next step, which is graduate member. After the graduate member, there is a meet and exam and from our regulatory body, which is BORAC, Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors. So as an architect and the QS, meet an exam administering, and then you are on board now as a corporate in the organization AK. You see an exam, and then you move now from the graduate to a corporate member. You are now
admitted into,
you're admitted
into
now
the profession.
to the profession, and you legally practice.
So without this exam, if you don't pass this exam, you practice?
Without registration, the regulatory body, which is BORAC, lazima exam asige license to practice. When you're a graduate, you work under a registered person who has already done exam, and kojita ne taken in through, which you have to you working under a registered architect for 2 years
before you apply
for your own license. Before you apply for exam.
Or for the exam.
Yes. You actually apply for the exam, and then you have to pass that exam, and then you'll be admitted now as a fully registered architect.
Lawyers, where you can work as a lawyer up to an extent. May when the kapkirwag may represent clients in court until you go to KSL.
Until you go through for the lawyers, if I may say, the pupillage. Then
in
of
fact,
course,
pupillage is before KSL, I think.
Before KSL, yeah.
You go for
sure.
pupillage, then you go to KSL. Then now, if you pass,
as an advocate, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, why is it necessary? Koikchito a member nebo the Architectural Association of Kenya.
Important, all the big students and undergo members che courses chebo architecture, engineering, in landscape, construction management, interior design, environmental consultants. Kaka nama mwale AAK, it's actually one of the oldest professional organizations in the country. It started in 1967. All those years, and it is an umbrella body that drives the built environment in the country. And asiyegu member koroge ko lazima imi within those courses, those careers, architecture, engineering, and landscape architects, construction management, interior design, environmental consultants. So that is the already Norton ne gunen a member as an organization. Yes.
And then now
the importance of joining professionalism as a professional. In terms of mentorship, in terms of trainings, so that ni meeting yenyoru client, maybe you've been given some work, you can definitely, for you to start until you deliver a project to the client, you must have gone through trainings. You must understand, lazima you understand and ile I go for you to understand in that way. You learn from, they always say you have to stand in the shoulders of the giants. Those are the people who've come before you. They have experience. That is the importance. And then also, it is a mandatory thing when, as a student, I'm sure I'll specifically talk about architects as much as I'll talk about the other professionals. So architecture, course ne EA for 6 years. You went to school training for 6 years.
In university.
In the university. Ago universities offer in architecture in Kenya, Kumiten Nairobi University, Jomo Kenyatta University, and then took the Technical University of Kenya, and then Kenyatta University, and then Mombasa TUM. Those are the 5 universities that are currently offering the degree of architecture, and again other professionals in the built environment. So, lazima you were through all those, and then now you start the journey of, because the ultimate goal as an architecture student in Jega Tugul Mitten, you registered as an architect, so that you practice, you can start your own business, consultancy, and make a living from that.
Every profession continue a set of laws or regulations chetelejin che lazima gisip as a professional name that field asiko ko chulak poisit enemet ab Kenya go site age go mi bik che in different professions ko lelen mi ngatutik and policies which kind of act as a barrier to people fully expressing their professional skills. Enemet ab Kenya go tos ogere go supportive, is there an enabling environment nebo architects ko suldaen boisionik kwa komnye?
In Swali Nangeteb, I will emphatically give a yes answer to that in a way that in the environment we have laws that we have to follow. Yes. In the building industry, there is a building code, if I may say. And in this building code, in fact, it's only last year that we had a repeal of the old building code that existed for over 56 years. It actually came to effect on March this year. Okay, the new building code. Yes, there has been a very good elaborate measures that the government itself has done in terms of sensitizing the public about the building code and the professionals in terms of embracing the new building code, because in the new building code, as one of the laws in the building the built environment, again built environment, because the building code is like the Bible in the industry.
You have to follow.
You have to follow. You have to follow. You have to adhere to every single detail that is stipulated from there, because failure to which there are repercussions and consequences.
It might be very serious.
Very serious. To add on that, one of the things and failures they were following up the building code and the regulations in the building industry. Buildings collapse.
Especially in Nairobi. Left, right, and center.
And Kigo Wait Peak Sabanwak, Ago ko and that setup. And we have to have a deliberate measures as the professionals, because as a professional body, our mandate is to protect our environment. Our mandate is to give advice. Our mandate is to drive the built environment industry. In that driving the built environment, committing regulations, laws, and everything that we need to follow. En ored no not nguno ko asige ki much ke protecten the built environment. Ko lazima ki committing agi sup the building regulations, the building code. In this industry committing key players chege collaborate ni to ku National Construction Authority. We partner together as a professional body in a number of ways, as also because the legal and mandate legal framework in terms of regulating the built environment, the industry. Meet the National Building Inspectorate, and county governments. We partner together in Moso and Gunon and Nairobi. We've Kogige interacted a number of times in a way of wanting to have a good environment for the professionals, for the developers, for the clans to invest in this city. And that also applies across the country.
About building collapses, which kigo bet sabonoga bichechang, kigo bet malik, the owners of the buildings. But sometimes committee who is to blame? Is it the architect? Is it the contractor? Is it the owner? Someone somewhere must have probably cut corners. I get it. Imuch koginyo chito konyo office nebo segecha ago lenja machi choron an apartment building. And then igochi all your drawings, and then akaenda akafanyiwa quantity survey kila kitu. And then gomore uyan kole chito kaikali. Kale segecha abaisien chuma yon these dimensions, lakini go that's too expensive. Mara kole chito no a smaller one. The gauge nebo tuk chebaisien. I don't know if that is what happens. And I'm curious, there's this program Negi running of late nebo mulika mjengo. Is it linked in any way to sanitizing this or trying to avert disasters che uchoto?
You've talked about something which is very key in terms of collapse in a building. Who is to blame?
Pinpointing kemwagele ngo.
Definitely, yeah. Any money ko lazima ko a root cause.
Yes.
Ne making a building to collapse.
Yeah.
And that is why ni gaskele meet in a building nega collapse ne ke there are multi-sectorial agencies when you go pay ND care investigations, of course taking the time.
Yeah.
And when I jump into the Mulika Mjengo kinegemwa, so it is an initiative we came up with Giginam as an organization because we saw a lot of gaps in terms of compliance, in terms of strict compliance to the rules and regulations in the building industry. And so we came up with, we've been running for like a year. In fact, the first phase that we were piloting, Kogi, Gimiten, Nairobi, and Kiambu counties. We covered most of the sites Chegi visiteni, Nairobi, and Kiambu counties. And as it was a pilot project, piloting phase, because keep learning having across the country with the partnership with other key stakeholders in the industry. So, and now when I go back to the who is to blame when a building collapses, one, our theme is build environment professionals, the importance of involving them. The importance of involving them is, one is to save you money as a client or a developer. Yeah. Two is compliance to the laws and regulations that governs the built environment and the planning industry. And shortcuts, shortcuts which at the end results to the collapse of the building. An example, if I may, just an example, as a practicing architect, client, apartments.
Yes.
Ilenji client, we will charge you this amount as an office.
Yes.
You know, and then agwe onjine. Komu igole mi client ile no rabing jaja kenyor kejil yani kenyor kartasi kitu ni kosiling jetengule. Not having in mind that cheap is expensive
in the long run.
In the long run,
yeah,
it is better because if you have like 50 million that you want to invest in a building, maybe 5 floors apartment, because in our profession, we are guided by, we have CAP 5 to 5 in our regulation, CAP 5 to 5. We are guided by the Constitution ourselves as practicing professionals, architects and quantity surveyors. And Kigi is meeting as stipulated charges.
So you don't just come up with a random figure.
You don't come up with a random figure. Meeting Gigi stipulated, and it is gazetted.
Okay.
That for a project, new project, commit a certain percentage, and all maybe renovations. You want to do renovation, commit certain charges. So we are guided by that. You see, ni moji no discussing sometimes maybe a client. The quotation I've given you is guided by this.
Yeah.
So one thing that I ask, and again, because if it is, for example, you want to invest like 50 million, how much expensive is it if you can spare like maybe 5 million or 3 million to in your room, all the proper approvals, proper drawings, supervision, and everything.
Yes.
You get it? Those are some of the challenges che face in the industry, and that is why one of the key things cheki mechanisms ke coming up at this Mulika Mjengo. One is public sensitization.
Okay.
So that ni miten ku Eldoret. Eldoret now is a new city, and it is a gateway to the northern part of this country. And ko city nege ne miten
that region.
Ne miten the region abo pick up kutit. And ngotale Rift Valley go miten gora Nakuru. But in the heart of the Kalenjin, ko Eldoret city.
Yes.
Eldoret city. In approaching in construction, things to construction planning, it is very important. It's very important. In the next 50 years or 100 years, how is this city going to look like?
Yeah, okay.
You get it? Involvement of the professionals is very key. Planners, town planners, architects, engineers, everyone in the built environment is very important. So it does also in individual clients. Co-investors, developers, investors, and the built environment.
So just to be clear, Mulika Mjengo is more of kinet piga bemet. First and foremost, konai what they should look for when looking for services from these professionals. Secondly, if you see a construction, etc. As a member of the public, those me gine muche I see very fine amun ya ganye gesrega enete nyangele architect who's involved in this project. Koinye, is there a way you can verify the qualifications or the license status nebachita? Sigur at least amungele Mulika Mjengo, it's something like it's not something. It's something like much widen out rogue elements within the system. Is that what the program is about?
Precisely what you've explained is the general view about Mulika Mjengo, and more so in compliances. Kungunon Mulika Mjengo it is a platform that we have within the organization. Niwe our websites aak.or.ke. Agi anani typing it Mulika Mjengo. Konin an interface where you can anonymously feed in information about Nimiten and neighborhood. Let's say a residential neighborhood. I'll go is suspecting there is a construction going on there. And this person really has not met the requisite requirements.
Yes.
As
member of the public, you can just
as an interested person in your neighborhood, because some of the things chemekani meet stipulated times about construction from until 5 p.m. in the evening.
Okay.
Beyond that. Special construction. You have to seek permission from special. That's the reason why you want to extend your construction until night, and that is given by the National Construction Authority. So, in this Mulika Mjengo, our mandate, because I'm one of the people who we've been spearheading this with a planner and engineer. And the secretariat members. Okay. Giving people a platform. We want to have the built environment sane, the sanity in the built environment, whereby following you have to follow the setback lines, maybe the safety precautions when you're doing construction. When you meet in a neighborhood, about maybe 5 floors ago your neighbors, ago they've not adhered to the safety precautions, like holding aside. That is an alarm. Because tot ka wirge ko ita embarak you no ago put jizo ne mingwen. You know, those are kutuguk choton che ki gonage ke coming up with this Mulika Mjengo asige ger kele. And once from the information, by the way, we've really received immense support from the public, especially in Nairobi, the Kiambu area, in terms of giving us information. Information anonymously, with that interface in our website, tinda an option in the location. Ilano. Emoji mwa kaine ngilane from this side nini optional John. Like kin last ma there is this building going on blah 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 this side, and I suspect that A, B, C, D
they are not doing happening. It right.
They are not doing it right. Ko yaga genyo that information at the secretariat. Keep picking up from there. Tam get about osi na genyo maybe about 20. About 20 complaints. We've been running this almost on weekly basis, Fridays. So Kate about us, the other colleagues, and then we analyze which one is more urgent based on the information. Building them somewhere, I go suspect. So when we take up from there, KBND that site.
Okay.
It's a continuous site. Of course, we have our branded helmets and the safety jackets. So the good thing, these sites, the contractors understand, even the people on site, they understand, these are professionals from AK. So we introduce ourselves, we are people from AK. We've received A, B, C, D complaints from your neighbor. We don't disclose information. And then we want to authenticate if
what they are saying,
what they are saying is true or it is not true. And on many occasions, we've gone to sites and we find establishing the complaints public because they are true. Because a professional body, we do not have the legal framework and mandate as a professional body to act on that. As an organization, we don't have that. The law doesn't give us that mandate of acting on
this information.
So we are like, once we collect our information, and then we've really worked well with the National Construction Authority, the County Government of Nairobi, National Building Inspectorate. Documentary reports. We've documented over 50 reports.
With the proper
authorities like National Construction Authority, the County Government, because they have legal framework and mandate to
take action.
Okay. To be precise.
People.
Exactly. And even to close sites. So over last year, we've really been collaborating and reaching out to them that we have heard this complaint, we would want to maybe discuss with you and how, so that in that way, we want them to give us that. We want to get that to ride on their mandates, their legal mandates to bring sanity in the building industry. Among in the professionals. Among the professionals. So once we give them, because we've had a number of meetings, sit-down meetings with His Excellency the Governor in Nairobi, the Director General National Construction Authority, and we have continued to engage. And the one single aim is how do we bring sanity in the built environment and the construction? Because construction, it's bringing about the employment.
Of course, yes.
It's also contributing to to the economic development of a country.
Of course, yes.
So when we have one straight way of implementation and bringing sanity in the construction industry, that would be a very big win for all the professionals, for the clients, for the developers, and even for the government itself.
Bernard, we have a short break. Asiye kiwege ketestai ngalal akobo sector nito bo tekset, akobo ngatutik, akobo kora kenai kechikil kenai kele amune asimoisubi biik ngatutik. Asikimuch keker ile kaikochi icheket cherset, konai kole ngetil shortcuts ko ne the consequences. Amun there are very grave consequences chemuch kobit. Kounotok chitab kolenjin kibendi kimunye kasarta nenwach miten ikere tetutiet nebo Kass Mashinani, kanyon ko Victor Korir kimiten ak architect Bernard Sagesha, inendet ko Honorable Assistant Secretary nebo Architectural Association of Kenya, keng'olole akobo sekta nitok nebo tekset ab korik. Matiloitu kiwekisene matyan ketestai ak ng'alalet en studio.